Throughout years of movie and TV watching, I'd never gotten vampires. I wasn't horrified by the stalking hunts followed by blood-spurting murders. The drama of dark romances and century-old grudges didn't move me. I kept my door shut on vampires until I watched a few movies that depict what I can only label as sympathetic vampires. Sure, these vampires still have fangs to bear and must leech off the blood of humans to maintain their immortality, but they display the same emotions that their victims are capable of. Emotions that, due to the particularly grim situation of being a vampire, can solicit greater empathy from the watcher. In this video, I'll touch on why I appreciate these sympathetic portrayals of vampires and share some of my favorite films and TV shows that do so. While the notion of what we call a vampire today originates in 18th century southeastern Europe, the folklore of vampirism dates back millennia. Across these years and multiple cultures, the descriptions and common attributes vary, but what is key is the wicked nature of vampires. Vampires were invaders of human society. Vampires were like infections that were to be prevented, and, failing that, severed off to ward off the spread of corruption. Classic cinematic depictions largely echoed this terror, from the first Nosferatu in 1922, inspired by Bram Stoker's Dracula, to Werner Herzog's 1979 remake. Vampires were demonic in appearance and acted like forces singularly intent on wreaking havoc on the innocent. In the 20th century, the animalistic creatures began to give way to vampires with a broader range of human characteristics. In literature, Dracula was transformed into a misunderstood villain in Fred Saberhagen's The Dracula Tape, told from Dracula's point of view. In 1976, in a debut novel, Anne Rice introduced the world to Interview with a Vampire. Suddenly, popular fiction got a taste of relatable vampires. The story would later make its way onto cinema screens in Neil Jordan's 1994 adaptation. The vampires that I love to watch don't live in conspicuous evil castles in the tops of eerie mountains. Over centuries, they'll fail to even conquer a single Staten Island street because they just want to simply exist like you and me. We don't expect them to provoke a pitchfork and torch-wielding mob onto their gates. In fact, we are likely to curse the mob should that happen. The sympathetic vampire instead makes art, deals with meddling relatives, falls in love, gets their heart broken, deals with loneliness, and all the other shit one goes through in life. They become mirrors through which we reflect upon what it means for us to be human. Let's go through some of my favorite movies and TV shows about sympathetic vampires. I've adored each and every one of Jim Jarmusch's films that I've watched. In an incredible filmography boasting such gems as Ghost Dog, Patterson and Dead Men and more, Only Lovers Left Alive is my favorite Jarmusch film. It depicts a married vampire couple, Adam and Eve, reunited in Detroit after Eve flies in from Tangier to rescue Adam from his depression. What follows is a slice of their life as we watch them play chess, reminisce about old historically notable friends, and of course, indulge in the good stuff. Blood.
Talking of delicious, I have a surprise, an experiment.
That doesn't work, by the way.
No, it does. I plugged it in.
What is that?
Oh, negative. That's delicious.
Blood on a stick.
On a stick.
The film explores the wonder of immortality as we get to see Eve's enviable book collection, Adam's creative projects, along with the weariness of never-ending life. To cap it off, because it wouldn't be a Jarmusch film otherwise, we are treated to a soothingly contemplative rock soundtrack. What do a prostitute, a heroin addict, a hard-working cat thief, and a vampiress have in common? Loneliness. In Anna Lily Amirpour stunningly shot A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, various characters leading their own dreadful lives cross paths. Looming amongst them is, obviously, the vampire who stalks them with distaste in the night. Although I suppose she doesn't mind how they taste. Her shell of callousness is gradually broken through by Arash, a young man determined to escape his impoverished circumstances through hard work and a knack for liberating unattended valuables. The film is sparse in dialogue. However, the cinematography exceptionally captures the characters' dread and isolation through striking, high-contrast, black and white shots. Accompanying those beautiful shots is a selection of vibrant songs that capture the characters' moments of release, bliss, and connection.
Je pense qu'il faut que tu manges plus. Je suis déjà coupé.
Non.
What to do when you are a vampire but you find the idea of feeding on a human, thus killing them, abhorrent? Humanist vampire seeking consenting, suicidal person explores this question as 68-year-old teenage vampire Sasha is cut off by her parents and must hunt for herself. She meets the suicidal Paul, who is all too eager to become a once-off blood boy. This Québécois film is an unexpectedly life-affirming coming-of-age story that leads us on a delightfully eccentric adventure. Down south into the long white cloud we go as a documentary crew follows 4 vampire housemates in Wellington, New Zealand. Co-written and directed by Jermaine Clement and Taika Waititi, who star as 2 of the vampires, it is no surprise that what we do in the shadows is 86 minutes of pure comedic gold. The mockumentary doesn't have a grand plot. Instead, the documentary crew films the vampires over a period of several months as we get to learn about each of their origins and weirdly wonderful or wonderfully weird personalities. Let me introduce you to the Wellington Vampires. First, we have Viago, who is a 17th century dandy who initially came to New Zealand in the 40s for love. Then we we have Vladislav the Poker, who is a 12th century tyrant. Next up, we have Deacon, who is a 19th century peddler and the supposed rebel of the group.
And then it opened its wings like this and hovered above me, screeching, "Ah! Ha, ha, ha! Now you are vampire!" And it was Peter. And we're still friends today.
Finally, we meet Peter, an 8,000-year-old vampire. He is a callback to Nosferatu in both appearance and his animalistic state.
We have total dominion from here to here.
So that's 2 streets.
Our street and Ashley Street.
Yes, I lied a bit. Actually, it's from there to there.
So we have dominion over 5 houses.
Yes, the hilarity ensues as we cross the Pacific Ocean to Staten Island, New York City. This sitcom spin-off of the 2014 film is also written and directed by Jermaine Clement and Taika Waititi, with the same premise of 4 colorful vampire housemates set in the same cinematic universe as the film.
I'm a vampire!
You're not, though.
While the series is primarily a sitcom, throughout its brilliant 6-season run, Clement and Waititi expand the lore and supernatural elements in many fun ways. An example is the 4th vampire of the group, Colin Robinson. Colin Robinson is an energy vampire. An energy vampire, was opposed to the traditional fang-wielding bloodsucker, feeds off life force instead. The term is also used metaphorically to refer to people whose influence in social interactions leave a person feeling exhausted. Colin Robinson's vampirism combines both definitions, making him devastatingly powerful. The other housemates are Nando the Relentless, a 760-year-old former leader of the fictional Al-Qranadal, which served the Ottoman Empire. Then there's Nadia of Antipaxos, a 500-year-old Greek-Romani former peasant girl. She's responsible for having turned Laszlo before they got married. Next is Laszlo Cravensworth, a 310-year-old hypersexual British noble.
Vampires have had a pretty bad rap. We're not these mopey old creatures who live in castles. And well, some of us are, a lot are. But there are also those of us who like to flat together in really small countries like New Zealand.
If you haven't watched any of the movies or TV show above, I hope I've done them justice and enticed you to watch them. I'm keen to hear your thoughts on those you have watched and even more excited for recommendations. P.S. Just in case there are vampires living in the shadows, if you're a hot vampiress seeking an obedient familiar, telepath me. Otherwise, till the next one.